In this video, we're going to talk about what's not working anymore in the journal niche on Amazon KDP. So if you're still uploading random journals and planners without a plan, you're going to get buried. Generic, low content books are dead. And today I'm going to show you what actually works in 2025 and beyond. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my channel. Every single week, I share videos all about self-publishing books so that you can build your own self-publishing business selling low and medium content books on Amazon. I started self-publishing books back in 2018 and things have changed a lot since then. Low content books were about to take off as an online business that people wanted to start because of the ease and accessibility of it. I don't even think anyone even called it low content book publishing at that time. Back then, when people thought about publishing low content books, it was notebooks and journals, which are basically just books full of lined pages, a pretty low effort type of book, which makes it no surprise that people jumped on it in the hope that it was a get rich quick kind of deal. And for some, they did make a lot of money with these kinds of books. And for some, they did make a lot of money with these easy to make books because they just went and published hundreds, sometimes even thousands of them. And this went on for a few years until both Amazon KDP and Amazon's customers got fed up of all these generic, low quality books that were flooding the Amazon bookstore. These low effort books and these low effort tactics just don't cut it anymore. I'm on Amazon. I've done a search for notebook. I've also done a separate search for journal, although they are basically the same things in their very basic form. When we have a look today, there are a gajillion of these books available on Amazon. And when I say a gajillion, the search results are showing over 100,000 results for notebook and over 100,000 results for journal. This is a huge amount of books to be competing with if you were self-publishing these kinds of books. Let's just take a very quick scroll through journals and see kind of exactly what is here. The majority of all these books are just the generic kind that just have lined pages in them and nothing else. Yes, you can get creative with the covers, and I'm not saying notebooks and journals like this don't sell. You can sell books like these, but you just have to keep in mind the amount of marketing and promotion that you would have to do to stand out amongst all these hundreds of thousands of other journals. You're also competing with other journals that have been self-published, as well as the ones that have been published through a large retailer or a wholesaler who have massive marketing budgets behind them, and ones that are being sold through third-party sellers on Amazon as well. The reality is that Amazon's customers just have way too much choice. Even if you do try to be a little bit more specific with something like gratitude journals or daily planner, these are still very generic books. While these kinds of books do have a little bit more in them than just a lined page. For example, with a gratitude journal, you'll have something like list 3 things you're grateful for today, but that page will still be repeated throughout the entire book and there'll be no difference between any of those pages. I've pulled up this one as an example, a gratitude journal notebook, and if we take a quick look inside, we'll be able to see that every page is going to be the same. So we've got 3 things we're grateful for today, what went well, your self-care goal, and maybe some affirmations and a place to write the date at the top. So although it is a little bit more than just lined pages, every single page is the same over and over again. These prompts are just repeated on every single page for every single day. So you can see how it's still quite generic. This is what the majority of gratitude journals look like. And it will be really hard to get noticed if you are just making the same books that are already available. And not only that, have hundreds of thousands of them available in a very popular niche. It's time to do something different. It's time to give Amazon's customers what they want and need, and that is specific targeted solutions rather than generic run-of-the-mill books that people keep publishing over and over. So what does actually work now in 2025 and beyond? I'm going to break it down clearly over the next 4 steps, and it is a pretty simple strategy and hopefully one that will give you a plan going forward that will actually help you see results. We just have to look at things a little bit differently. So while it is great to want to go into a big niche that is popular with Amazon's customers like journals, it's actually something I do always recommend myself. I like the big niches. I like going where customers are, and I like going where customers are spending money already. But niches like journals also have a lot of competition. So you're going to want to micro niche. A micro niche is a much smaller, much more targeted niche that falls within that bigger general journal niche, but is going to talk to a specific customer. Let's look at this example. I have done a search for fitness journal. This is a much more targeted niche within journals. It still has over 10,000 results. So although that competition is a lot less, it's still in demand. It's still something Amazon's customers are looking for, but still a little bit competitive for this search term. So that means there's still quite a bit of competition. But not only that, if we have a look at some of these books, they really are just the plain lined journal types of books with the title of fitness journal. There's nothing really different about them than the regular journals other than they are just targeting a more specific keyword. So going even further beyond this, what can you do to create a fitness journal that targets a micro niche and targets specific customers with a specific solution to what they are looking for? Yes, they are looking for a fitness journal, but when they receive one of the generic ones, most of the time they're probably not even going to know what exactly they should be using it for. What should they be journaling about their fitness journey exactly? What things should they be tracking exactly? How long should they be tracking things for? What type of fitness programs or sports can they be using it for? People are going to be doing all different types of exercise and sport. Are we targeting all of them? So in the end, these generic plain fitness journals might end up not really being helpful at all because customers don't know how they should be using them. So help them with that issue and create something, for example, a 90-day marathon training journal for beginner runners. This is the prime example of a micro niche. Not only are you targeting fitness, you're targeting specifically marathon running. And you're not just targeting anyone who wants to run a marathon, you're targeting beginner runners. And that is actually a great kind of customer to target because beginner runners will usually have no idea about their running times or their speeds or whether what they are doing is fast or slow. So using a journal just like that to track that sort of information over a 90-day period will really help them along as they learn about running a marathon as well as how they run and how they are progressing. These types of journals will not be just a book full of lined pages. There will be specific things related to running marathons that the customer will be able to track for each run. So that is a very specific example, but hopefully it gives you an idea of exactly how to get down into a micro niche. I want to show you a few more examples of micro niche journals. The first one I've got here is a prayer journal for teen girls, a 52-week devotional. The micro niche we have here is not just a journal, it's a prayer journal. It's not for anyone, it's for teens, and it's not for boys and girls, it's specifically for girls. And it is a 52 week. So it's not something that goes on and on. It is a year-long process for a specific set of customers. That's really getting down into the micro of the niche. The next one I pulled up is a mental health journal, a daily check-in. So it's 70 days of reflection to track your moods, intentions, and well-being. So it's not just a mental health check-in for somebody to write how they're feeling that day. There is going to be specific things that they're checking in on. And in this case, it is moods, it's intentions, and well-being. And again, it is a daily thing that the person who buys this book is going to complete on a daily basis for 70 days. The next example I pulled up here is a gratitude journal, but they've really honed in on a bit of a micro niche within that large gratitude journal niche. We have a 3-minute gratitude journal for kids. So again, it's not targeting everybody, it's specifically for kids. And it goes even further into it is targeting kids aged 5 to 9. So we're not targeting all kids because kids can span a large range of ages. Kids go from sort of 2 to 16, 17, 18 years old. And so books are going to be very different for a 3 and 4-year-old as they would be for a 14, 15-year-old. So getting even more into the niche there by targeting a specific age of kid. The next couple of examples are actually quite similar. This one is a mum and daughter journal. It's not just a journal for anyone. It's not just a journal for parents, it's for mums and their daughters. Very specific set of customers that this book is targeting. And it is a journal that will help mums and daughters bond over doing specific challenges and activities. This example is similar. This is another mother-daughter journal targeting that micro niche of mothers and daughters to help bonding and communication. This one here does end up having a specific age. So this one's targeting kids that are aged 8 to 11. So getting even deeper into that really, really specific target customer. And the last example that I pulled up was a self-love journal for teen girls. So again, similar to that first example, it's not targeting everyone. It's targeting teenagers, and it's not targeting boys and girls. It's targeting specifically girls, and it is specifically a self-love journal. Hopefully these examples are showing you how to get down into a micro niche underneath an extremely popular niche on Amazon, and things that you might notice about each of these, which are characteristics of a micro niche. They target a very specific person: kids, mums, daughters, teens. They have a very specific amount of time for the use of the book, whether that's a 52-week journal or a 70-day journal or something like 3 minutes a day. And they are all more of a medium content type of book, meaning that they have more than just lined pages in them. A journal with purely lined pages is what you'd call a low content book. These have a bit more in them, so we would generally refer to them as more of a medium content because you do have to put a little bit more into them. They are providing a lot more value than a generic lined journal. Essentially, focus on solving a problem, not just selling a blank book. After you choose a micro niche, next up is branding. I talk about branding in most of my videos, and I talk about how powerful it can be to help you drive sales of your books. Creating a brand builds trust, and it creates a sense of familiarity and authority in that niche. And it will help in the future when you publish more books, or if you want to create and sell products other than books under your brand. Your brand will mean that you will have a cohesiveness across everything that you do. So the colors you use or the colors you choose, the fonts that you use, the style of your books will all be similar and follow your brand style. This is an example of a journal brand with really strong branding. They're called Promptly Journals. They publish a range of different journals that target different micro niches. If we're looking at their branding, they have this sort of muted, minimalistic style with subdued colors. The books all have the same style of cover with this plain linen style of cover, and then using a cardboard piece that goes over the journal to describe the journal. Of course, we cannot do that sort of thing with KDP. I'm just using this as an example to show you some really strong branding. All the books have the same style. This even carries over onto their website, and the brand page that they have on Amazon that we just looked at mimics the style of their website. They have very clear branding, which gives off a really intimate luxury kind of vibe. And this is what you need to create for yourself, but dependent on the style of the brand you want. Do you want your brand to be loud, colorful, and fun? Or do you want your brand to be something that's calm, minimalistic, mature, or even something else different entirely? Once you have decided this, you just need to make sure that everything that you do, from creating your books to creating your website to posts that you create for social media, they all need to reflect this branding. Start from the very beginning thinking like a brand, not just someone who uploads books to Amazon, and watch the difference that it makes. The next part of having success with micro-niching journals, and I mentioned this briefly just earlier, is giving your journals unique features. You're not creating journals with just lined pages anymore. What kind of customization can you give to your books to make them a bit different to all the others? Tailor this to whatever problem it is you are helping the customer solve. Can you provide additional features within your book? Things like tracking templates or goal setting templates. You'll be creating prompts to go into your journals. Can you theme this and tailor them to the customer? Understanding your customer and what problems they are facing is going to be a big part of this. And lastly, high quality covers for your books are going to be super important. And that is regardless of the kind of books that you're making or what micro niche you're going to be making books for. You need to remember that when a customer is searching for a journal, they are looking at a small laptop screen, or a lot of the time a small phone screen, where they are being shown hundreds of little thumbnails all squashed together. Your cover needs to stand out in that sea of thumbnails, and it needs to stand out in a good way. Look at the other books you are competing with and make sure that you create or you have a cover created for you that is just as good as, if not better, than all those other covers. It needs to be as professional and as high quality as you can get, because it's what makes the customer click on your book's thumbnail instead of the others. I'm just scrolling through the gratitude journals search results here, and I just want to have a quick look at something that would be considered a pretty high quality cover and something that is quite suited to the journal niche. This is quite calming, minimalistic, nice colors, and this is one of the best selling gratitude journals on Amazon. And if we scroll down and take a look at some of the others, these are similar. They've got these really nice, calming style of covers, really suited to this kind of niche. Most of the gratitude journal covers are very minimalistic without a lot on the covers. And then let me look at this one, for example, A Year of Gratitude. The colors on this book, they're just not really that suited to this kind of niche. The font is not a trendy or popular kind of font that you would use at this current time. It's kind of a little bit dated looking. The stripes that are going on behind the text is making it very difficult to even sort of read what the words on the cover are. And you can just really see the difference between some of these really professional looking high quality covers that are really suited to this niche, and then something like this, unfortunately. And I don't say that to pick on anyone or make fun of their hard work or anything like that. The reality is that you are competing with all these other books, and your cover needs to be as good as and as professional as all these other books that are currently selling in the journal niche. And it is probably a big reason why this book here has a lot of sales and this book here has none. It's a good idea to start learning about things like color psychology, which is how color affects human behaviors and emotions. For example, if your goal is to create a brand that evokes calm and relaxation, but you have maybe a lot of red all over the cover of your book, then this is going to have the opposite effect, because red is known to evoke excitement, energy, and even danger. So when you combine all these things together, a micro niche that focuses on actually solving a problem, offering unique features and customizations in your books, creating a cohesive and trustworthy brand, and building up that brand with multiple related books in the niche, and creating a highly professional, niche suitable cover, it will all come together to help you build a journal brand that can actually have success today. You don't need 1,000 random books to win. You need smart books built for real people who are searching for real solutions. I hope that you found this video helpful and insightful. Journals is still such a popular niche with Amazon's customers, and it always will be. We just need to be a little smarter in 2025 and beyond about creating them to be able to stand out and reach the right customers. The right customers being the ones who need our books, can find them, and actually buy them. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too, so please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.